Good morning, reception classes, and welcome to another English lesson. We are going to be reading the story Aliens Love Underpants. So, you've got your story link. If you've listened to the story, we can continue. If you've not listened to the story, press the pause button and listen to it now. So, Tuesday the 2nd of February. Our learning objective today is to write about the story setting. Our success criteria, and that's all the things that we're going to be doing in the lesson to meet our learning objective. So what I'm looking for in the lesson. I can say what a story setting is. I can say where this story is set. I can talk about the setting for this story. I can use my phonemes and thread fingers to write about the story setting. So, first of all, we're going to identify what a story setting is. What does that mean? What is a story setting? Well, all stories have settings, and it simply means a setting is where the story happens. So it just means where the story happens, where most of the events in that story happen. I want you to think of as many story settings as you can. I've thought of the beach, the woods, and my house. Those are places where stories could happen. Press the pause button while you think of story settings. Okay, explore. I want you to have another think about the story that we are reading this week, Aliens Love Underpants. I want you to talk to your mum or dad and think about where this story happens. Have a little think about it. Where does this story happen? I'm just going to pause for a minute while you do that. Okay. This story actually has two settings. It has one main setting where most of the story happens, but it starts off in a different setting. Our story begins in space. The aliens are in space and they come down to Earth and they land in a garden. And it's in the garden where most of the story happens. So we can say our story setting is in a garden. Okay, time to apply what we have learned. Now we know what story settings are, and we know the story setting for our story. We are going to write a sentence about the story setting, and we're going to do this together before you go off and do it by yourselves. Remember, you use your phonemes and your thread fingers to help you with your writing. So, let's say the sentence that we're going to write together first. It is set in a garden. I want you to repeat it to yourself after I say it. It is set in a garden. Your turn. It is set in a garden. Your turn. It is set in a garden. Your turn. Okay, children, so whenever we write a sentence, we know that sentences always begin with a capital letter. So let's put those capital letters, the capital letter in at the beginning, and our sentence ends with a full stop. So we're going to put that in as well. Now you can't see me today like you can on some of our videos, but I am putting my hands in the air to make the capital letter. It is set in a garden. And then I'm punching the air to show my full stop. Can you have a go at doing that? Hands in the air. It is set in a garden. Punch the air, full stop. Okay, I think we're ready to write. So I'm going to get my pen. I'm afraid, children, my writing is going to be a bit wobbly because I am using a computer and not a real pen. But when you do it, your writing will be perfect. Now, the first word we're writing is it. I want you to think about the phonemes that are in the word it. It. show me your Fred fingers for it. You should be showing 2 Fred fingers. Pinch your phonemes. It. It. So our first phoneme is it. And we know that it should begin with a capital letter because it's the first word in our sentence. So we start with a capital I for I and then t, like that. Well done. Next, we need to leave a finger space. It is. Show your Fred fingers for is. You should have 2 Fred fingers up. Pinch your phonemes. I, s, I, s, I, s. Remember your finger space. I, s. Let's start reading again. It is. Our next word is set. Set. Show your Fred fingers for set. You should be holding 3 Fred fingers. Pinch your phonemes. S, e, t, s, e, t. Finger space. S, e, t. Great. It is set in. In. Show your Fred fingers for in. Pinch your phonemes. You should have 2 Fred fingers for in. Pinch those phonemes. I, n, I, n. Don't forget your finger space. I, n. Oh, that's a bit wonky. Never mind. Your N will be better than mine. It is set in A. Leave your finger space. A. Garden. Garden is a little bit longer, so we need to think very carefully when we sound it out. Okay, garden. Say it to yourself. Think about the phonemes that we need to write the word garden and count them on your fingers. Okay, show me your Fred fingers. You should be showing 5 Fred fingers for garden. Let's pinch them and say the phonemes. G, A, D, E, N. G, A, D, E, N. Okay, I've not got enough space here, so I'm not going to try and cram my word on because that will look really untidy and I won't be able to read it very easily. So I am going to the beginning of the next line. And garden begins with G. And then we have the R phoneme. Now they are R is a special friend. And this is what it looks like. R. Special friends. So we can underline our special friends. God. You can hear all of those phonemes quite easily. Let's read it back. It is set in a garden. Remember, we need to put in our full stop. And our full stop always sits on the line, just like our letters. It doesn't fly up in the air, and it's not a great big ball, just a little dot on the line at the end of your sentence to show that you have finished. Let's read our sentence back one more time, children. It is set in a garden. And that is the sentence that I would like you to write on writing sheet 2. I don't want you to look at this and copy it down. I want you to close this now, this lesson, and then have a go at writing it by yourselves. Use your phonemes, your Fred fingers. If you've got your alphabet mat, you can use that to help you. Okay. Well done for all your hard work in this lesson, children, and good luck with your writing.